Hello and welcome to St Osyth Beach in Essex. A lot of you out there will know this beach for stingrays. In the summer, now onwards, it can produce some absolute monsters. But I'm here tonight, as the title of the video suggests, after smoothhounds. Further down the coast, not a long way away, they have been being caught. So they are about, and that's just a slack liner, but that might be weed. Just reel down into it and see what happens. My ratchet is set, so if I do get a scream and run, the rod will not disappear off the rest. He says, you watch, I'll be doing a bit of video, and you'll just see my rod just javelin past me. I've seen it before, it does happen. People talk about it, and people think to themselves, yeah, right, whatever. Trust me, it happens. I was at Chelsea and I've seen one of my mates' rods javelin off the beach and start scooting down the beach. That's a fish. That is a fish. And the ratchet has clicked a little bit as well. Give that a couple of minutes, it might just be a doggy. Like I say, also here you can get fawnbacks. It is quite good for fawnbacks. That, I don't know what that is, but that's actually just made the ratchet go. Well, first cast live action. Let's see if this does anything. This video is in dark, I know. Don't worry, it's not a nighttime video. This video will progress in the daytime fishing. So if you don't like the nighttime stuff, which I know a lot of you don't, scoot past it and we will turn it on when it gets to high top. What was that? Whatever that was a pretty solid thump. That was two solid thumps on there. Could have been bass. It is quite a bassy beach, this. Don't think there's anything on, but that was solid, whatever that was that thumped that. Right, give me a second. Just gonna go down here. There you are, look. Just found out what's been smashing me over, little basslets. These are only coming on the pulley rig. I'm only getting the bangs on the pulley rig. I've got a pulley rig on my fixed spool rod, and on the right hand rod, which is the M4 GT, I'm using a Bagnall bar, and so far, that has not been hit. Weird, bait suspended in the water, the basslets are hitting them. I'll see how it goes. If I get plagued by these, I'll have to change the other one to a Bagnall bar to keep them baits solid on the bottom. But there's fish here, which is a bonus, and up here there's always a chance of a half decent bass as well. So if these are about, you never know. But we're not here for these. We're after them big grey dogs. And at the minute, it's perfect for it. So I'm really hoping they turn up, because you couldn't get a better night for this. Beginning of May, tide's a little bit small, yes, but conditions are absolutely spot on. There's no wind, flood and tide. Just got to go through it and see what happens. Look at this. Baby little hound, look at that. That is absolutely perfect. Look at her. Well, I've got one. That's not the video complete, because I want one over 6. I've actually got one. First hound of the year, little tiny baby. What a beautiful fish. I love these fish so much. Absolutely beautiful. Right, I'm going to get her back because she's only a little one, but bloomin' heck. Hound caught, yay. I think it's about the 3rd cast, something like that. Still getting smashed by the basslets on the pulley rod. But if this is about, who knows? There could be bigger ones. I'm going to go and put her back. Yes. Oh. Well, I was putting that one back and I walked up and my left-hand rod had gone down the beach quite a bit. Look at this. I know what you're going to say. It's the same fish, but trust me, pause it, do whatever you want to do. Look at this. It is a different fish. That is 2 hounds, but they're only little pups. The parents have got to be about tonight. They really have. It seems to have suddenly switched on. Both rods are out. 2 little baby hounds. Another little bambino. This one's a little bit more feisty. Another little lady. Look at that. Oh my word. Superb. Right, I'm going to get this one back, get both the baits out. Hopefully there's a bigger one out there. I thought I'd give you a little sit rep as to where we are at the minute. It's now coming up to about 3 o'clock, so you've got an hour and a half before high tide. That tide is pulling. It's not like a train. It's not pulling really hard, but it's pulling. Pulling so much that I've had to swap the 7 ounce on the left-hand rod. I'll swap to a 7 on the right-hand rod as well. 7 on the left, that's now locked in place, that's fishing. There are a lot of fish out there. A lot of fish. So far, I've had whiting, baby hounds, and bass. And the bites are coming fast and furious. I'm not putting the whiting on the camera for you because no one wants to see white. And this is a smoothhound video. And we've had 2 baby smoothhounds. Only babies though, only babies. But you never know. At some point of this tide, the big girls could turn up. If the babies are there, they're a shoaling fish, there will be more out there. It's just a case of sitting here and waiting it out. Cast, 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 get a bite, wind it in, because it's probably a whiting. Rig on, bait on, smack it out. Same again, same again. Continuously try and keep a bait in that water without a fish on it. Because, sorry, I have this tendency when I'm doing these films to look at my rod tips and not you. And that's just because my mind is constantly fixated on my rod tips. I've got to be watching them. I really have, especially when hound fishing. Like I say, that could just go. But like I say, there's a lot of fish out there, but no doggies. Not one dogfish, which to me, there you go. That's a baby bass. That's a bass. The tremble beforehand said bass. You know, but it did pull the rod tip down quite hard. But there's nothing else there now. You see, they're hitting the bait and they're not actually taking it. Now, if that rod tip was to keep going over, we'd wind in. But that's what it's been like continuously. I am getting through, I've got 30 crab on me and I'm getting through them like absolute anything. That's got to be a bass. I am going through these crab quite fast. I'm going down to half a crab. But like I say, when I'm casting out and you're getting that, if it goes once more, we'll wind it in. I would definitely say, see, whatever it is pulling that quite hard. Now, that's not a hound. Well, it might be. You never know. It might not be able to dislodge the 7 ounce. It might be too small to dislodge that 7. Hang on, that went again in my hand there. Once more. Don't think we got that, which is a shame. But like I say, and I'm fishing with braid as well, which over accentuates the bait, so to speak. But that's what it's been like continuously. And like I say, I don't want to be not fishing without crab in the water, because if there's a whiting hanging on there and them hounds come through, you're going to miss them. It's not a case tonight of just leaving it there, because I know the hounds are there. I know they've been spotted down further, like I say, Holland on Sea, Walton, etc., etc. But we just need them to come up here. That crab has been grabbed by a bass, I reckon. Not a biggie, but a baby Bertie. Right, I'm going to rewrap this crab out because it's only been out 5-10 minutes. I'm going to flick it back out and give it another 15. See if we can get through these small fish. One fish over £6 will do me tonight. It's not asking a lot. Well, it is asking a lot. And it's being greedy, I know, but that is what I'm here for. Got a few hours left. Pray to the fish gods that it happens. Well, there was me saying, and had no doggies. No doggies about here. I wasn't going to put the first one on, but I thought, you know, I'm going to put this one on. It's gone a little bit dead, but there it is. Dogfish number 2. I've also had an eel, tiny little bootlace, which I managed to get off my rig and throw back before it destroyed it. But they're not coming thick and fast. That is the thing. Even though I've got a doggy, it is not like 1 dog, 2 dog, 3 dog, one after the other. That went for a spell there of probably about 20 minutes without a bite. So the bites have eased off, which I was hoping, to be honest with you, the hounds have moved in and pushed all the other fish off. I'm not getting no bass, no whiting. But dogger number 2. As you can maybe see, it's still dark. I've moved up a little bit, so I'm going to move my rods back now because the tide is pushing right up. We've probably got about 45 minutes before high. Hopefully the sun will come up soon, so then I can start doing some daylight filming, because like I say, I put up a night film, and I don't think a lot of you like watching them at night. Let's be honest with you, I understand that. all you've got is me with black behind me. You ain't got a lot to look at. So anyway, throw this one back, move the rods up, get both rods out. Hopefully they'll come through on the ebb. You never know. Be nice to see a ray as well, but there you go. Just a hound, one more hound, something half decent. It could happen, you never know, it could. Hello. Morning has broken, and what a beautiful morning it is. Absolutely stunning. It is such, I'm just gonna turn you around. See if you can see the sunrise. Look at that, hey? Beautiful. It is 10 to 5 in the morning. It's now ebbing. Tide is now running from right to left. It's been dead for quite a while, but I've just had a basslet. So the fish are back on the feed. However, not the big grey dogs. We've had little grey dogs, and we've had horrible dogs. Well, I say horrible dogs, it's not horrible, are they? Dogfish. They're a fish, they were given good bites. However, if you look at that sea state, which I'm sure you'll be able to see, that is screaming to me smoothhounds or rays, but that is hounds. That is an absolute hound sea, that is. It really is. So I'm hoping I'm going to give it 2 hours on the ebb, see what happens. As you can see, I'm also down to one rod. Ta-da. Right hand rod. Lost a couple of sets of tackle with it. To be honest with you, all I caught on it was one eel as well. So I'll put that away. I'm just fishing with the one now, and I'm picking up all my fish, weirdly enough, on the pulley on this rod. One little eel on the Bagnall bar, like I say, but this, with the pulley on, seems to be doing the do, so I'm going to stick with this. Absolutely beautiful morning. So we've got 2 hours. 2 hours to see if these fish come through and on the feed. Oh, I hope they do. It's perfect for them. It is absolutely perfect. And I know they're about. It's just a case of whether they come through on this ebb. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. I'll go through the rigs and stuff in a little while as well with you. Like I say, night time. Had to start during the night. But I know you don't like nighttime videos because the viewing figures don't lie. Anyway, I'm going to kick back, relax, see if this ebb produces something decent. Well, that ebb is absolutely nailing it through like a train, and with it, it's brought a lot of snotty green weed, sort of mayweed type stuff. It absolutely stinks. Just going to show you what I'm using though quickly. Obviously, I'm on the fixed spool, Yuki Bosphorus, heavy rod, AMG Evo reel, 80-pound braid straight through. And to that, I've got a pulley rig, single hook, down to a crab bait. And on that crab bait, got a 7-ounce lead. And all I'm doing with that is literally just going to get some of that snotty stuff off the line. Because if you've got it on the line, when you cast out, always remove it, because when you cast it out, any new weed that's coming through will literally stick to that like glue. And we don't want that. I'm just hoping this ebb eases off very quickly, because I was getting bites from basslets as that was trundling around. And all I'm doing with this is I'm not going to hit this as hard this time, because the further I put it out, the more tide there is. Simple overhead thump, bish bash bosh, boom. Now let's see if we can pick anything up there. The hounds are conspicuous in their absence, as we thought they would be, to be honest with you. Well, didn't think they would be, otherwise we wouldn't have come. Ah, dear. Always loosen the drag. Yeah. For the hound, I honestly thought I would have seen some on the flood. I really, really did. But there was a lot of fish last night. I've had eel, loads of whiting, few basslets, doggies, and of course, I have had the target species, only in miniature, which isn't really what we want. We don't want them in miniature. We want them chunky-ish. That's the tide. The tide is absolutely nailing through. Even with 7 ounce, that's just bouncing it around. It's just a case of hoping that it eases off and that lead wedges in and it stops. But like I say, put it a bit closer, you never know. Dawn time with a tide running like that. Inside the tide, there could be some big bass. There might not be as well. There might be nothing else in this video. But you never know. Stick with me. I've got an hour and a half left. Let's see what this hour and a half can do. Well, that cast I just did, I'm now getting bites on. Fairly close in, guaranteed to be a basslet. It's walloped over a couple of times. There we go, see? I reckon it's a little birdie. Definitely a fish on there. It's not what we want, but a sport, isn't it? Come on. It's gonna be a baby bass. I guarantee it. At least close in as well. We're not getting as much blooming snotty weed come through. That's one bonus. Well, saying that, there is quite a fair bit on there. Is there anything on there? Yeah, there's a fish. And I was correct. It's a little bass. Not a hound. But we still have time. They could still come through. Look at that, eh? Perfect little Bertie bass. The tide run's finally dropped off. There is still some there. You cast out, it comes round slightly, and then it stopped. That's stopped more or less dead in front of me, and I cast a little bit up tide. And I think I just saw a little knock on there. Little basslet maybe. See if it goes again. If it does, we'll wind it in. There we go. Happy days. Well, it's not happy days because it's not folding over, but it's a bite. That's all that matters. Obviously, I'd much rather hear the ratchet screaming and have the rod scream off as well, but you know. I do believe there's a fish on it. Could be a load of weed as well, because it does feel quite heavy. Definitely not a hound though. Oh dear, let's see what we got. It will be another Bertie basslet. The shallower it gets, the more snaggy it gets in here. What have we got? And the rig is now coming out of the water. Nothing. Nothing apart from stinking weed. So those basslets are hitting it, but they're obviously not big enough to take the bait, which is soul destroying. They've gone smaller and smaller and smaller to the point now where they can't actually take the bait. But like I say, that is what, it's not that bad, don't get me wrong, weed wise. It's just round the grip lead. I'm probably catching that as I'm reeling in, to be honest with you. However, I've still got an hour left. So, let's get these crab on. Let's get it out there. Let's just see if we can get something else on camera in the last hour. Well, it's safe to say it's turned into Basslet City out there. I am getting constant bangs on that rod tip. One of them was quite a nice thump, actually, to be honest with you. For a split second, it went over and I thought, oh, then it just bounced a little bit. No, no hound on there. But you've got to be in it to win it. And we are in it. We're just not winning it at the minute, unfortunately. Ah, oh, dearie me. Come on, go once more. I've still got a few crab left. I'll probably put them in the fridge and save them for another adventure in a couple of days, maybe, because it's bank holiday weekend. Who knows? Come on. Go again. Little rattles. I think there might be one on there though, because that thump a little while ago looked pretty positive, to be honest with you. One more indication and I'll reel you in. If the hounds are about, I'm pretty certain we'd have had one by now. With this tide ebbing the way it is, I think we'd have probably had them over the top and maybe the first hour or so down the other side. But like I say, they're just not here. Thought they would be. Hence why I came out at stupid o'clock in the morning to try and fish the tide, but you know, you got to do it, you got to try it. Seems like I missed the first run of them. There were some good ones come out as well. There were some very nice ones come out. Down at, I think, Holland, Clacton, Walton. But I thought if they were down there, I thought they'd be up here. How mistaken was I? Come on. They could just be grabbing at it, to be honest with you. It might be too big for them. Lovely little sailing boat going past. What a day to be doing that. Absolutely beautiful day. Got about 30 minutes, half an hour left to catch some more basslets. Oh, let's wind that one in. Let's wind this in because it has been going quite a bit. It might just be sitting there now. Or it might be full of weed. Probably full of weed. There is a bit of weight there, don't get me wrong. But I said that last time. And then what did I pull in? Weed all over the lead and snotty stuff on the line. Well, I say there is definitely some weight. Was that a basslet that hit it and just sitting on the rig? More weed. Oh, it's just surfaced out there. I think I just saw a little glimmer of silver. Or was, I imagine it. No, there's a fish. Basslet. Absolute basslet mania out there. Is it a waste of crab? Maybe a little bit. But on a morning like this, stop jumping around you, little blighter. Ow, that spiked me. And there we go, another little basslet. This one's an absolutely crazy, lively little thing. Gave me a couple of good bites. The sea is absolutely alive with them. I've got half an hour left. Maybe. Am I wasting crab? Yeah, a little bit probably. However, it's some fun. It's some fish to catch and it's fun, isn't it? You never know, there is always that chance that one solitary hound that's in this massive bit of sea here could find my crab. Who knows? Right, another crab on, another basslet to be caught. Well, that's it. That's me done. It's about 20 to 7. I'm pretty certain there's going to be no hounds come through now. So, reel this in and get on my way back to Ipswich. Had a few bites on this. Little rattles. Don't think there's anything there though. I think the bass were getting smaller and smaller every cast, and I think that's out there now. It's just little micro basslets. They can't even get that hook in their mouths. Is what it is. Like I say, you look at that sea now behind me and it is absolutely perfect for a hound. It really is. It looks like absolute pristine, prime condition, same as it was last night. They just didn't turn up. Nothing on there. So, that's the first hound hunt done. Had two-ish small ones. Can we count them? Yes, because they are smoothhounds. But are they what we want? No, we want big grey dogs, not little tiny grey dogs. However, we still caught a few species last night, like I say, eel, dogfish, whiting, bass, and of course, the two little tiny smoothhounds that came together very, very close in time and then disappeared. But there we go, like I say, first one done, out of the way. The summer is coming. Hopefully they'll turn up in numbers. Who knows? If you got this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe, give me a comment. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you by the water very soon.